Alright, backyard Mechnic here, man. Got this in the mail. It's pretty scratched up crystal, man. You can see it all right in here. Feel it. You can hear that. A lot of scratches there. So, I thought it would be a good time for me to reveal my little secret on how I polish these bad boys up. So, there's my secret. Right there. Some Brasso and a Dremel. I'm going to show you all how to do this real quick. This is your acrylic crystal. This only works for acrylic crystals. Now, this will not get rid of sun cracking. So if the crystal is sun cracked, it's going to need to be replaced. But this crystal looks like it's got a heavy, I guess, drawer scratching or surface scratching on it. And this is a perfect example of where you think you might need a new crystal because it's all scratched up and you go on the hunt for it. But what I'm about to show you guys should make your days a little happier. Because what you should see here, let's see if I can get a better angle there. Pull this back a little bit. There we go. See, working with the little makeshift setup for y'all, because videography is not my skill. That's about all you need now. What I do at this point is I take the Dremel. Now, lowest speed Dremel can go to. You don't need a fast speed. Everything's gonna be in the pace. Now, sometimes this is an old batch of Brasso, but it works. So what I do is I smear it out a little bit like that, just so I have a little bit on the tip of the brush when I go to initially use it. Because polishing is about putting more scratches and finer scratches on the surface. Now, what I usually do is some more. There we go. Just blow it around a little. Now I got this box all set up so that when I start doing this, it won't get stuff everywhere. Which reminds me, I might have to set up some kind of clear covering in front of my screen here. Let's see if I got anything around here. Oh wow. We're just gonna have to go with the ties, I guess, right, fellas? Clean the lens as we go along. I'll keep it higher than the lens. Alright. Give this a second to dry off. Now, it doesn't really matter if this stuff gets around on the metal. I try not to get it in the band as much, but I'm gonna change that band anyways. Sorry about that. Plug up my Dremel here. Alright. Now my pad is a little. Now these are this pad here, man. I had to set this up with a piece because if it screws down just a little too much, the tip of this screw can come out, and that'll cause you some more scratching that you'll have to buff out later. So I put a piece of rubber slide here to keep it from bunching down around the shaft as I put pressure on it over time. This way the cloth doesn't mushroom down around the shaft as easily. And these are the Dremel replacement tips for anybody who wants to know. That's the replacement tips for this thing here. All right, let's get this party started. Now, yeah, I usually go over these several times, so you're gonna start to see the scratches start to appear as like line shadows on the dial, and that's usually how I gauge how clear I've gotten it. I keep alcohol, some rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle, and I keep a micro cloth around just for quickly rubbing these down, you know, just to clean it off and keep it from building the crud up inside of the crevices of the piece. But it also kind of helps you see where you're at. I don't know how well that's going to show up on the camera there, but because you know, I'm not really looking at this camera too much. I'm looking at it now, trying to move it around. I can't really see the screen that well, but I'm hoping I'm moving it around enough for you guys to see the scratch level difference in the crystal as we go through this process. So let's keep it moving in the sake of time. Always shake this stuff well, brasso. Make sure you keep any big chunks out of it, because it's not that it's a problem, it's just kind of annoying to deal with it, the granules in there. Now the trick too is to give it a few seconds to kind of dry up. Now, I see that's a granule flying off there. Blow that around a little. Now, if you're too lazy to blow on it, you could probably use like a baby dropper, like, you know, a little thing. I've been doing it for a while like this, a couple years now, so don't worry. I use the Timex first to burn through a couple crystals. In all honesty, here we go. Now there was some deep crystals over the front of it, so I'm going to hit there first this time. A little harder than normal. Real light strokes so you get all the glaze off, basically. You'll see the glaze come off. What you do is the white cream leaves, as you're going through it, it smears it around, and what you'll see is a white haze start to appear. And I don't know, the brasso does something with the acrylic where it really makes it very easy. You just keep going over it real lightly, and I slowly will get these scratches out. Now, part of my trick is to start wherever the scratches might be thickest. Now, I don't know if for you guys over there on the other end if you can see them, but there's a ton of scratches still right here. I mean, you can feel it. I don't know if the mic will pick it up, but you can hear it with your nail right there. My nail scratching it. But it was real bad earlier. Before, when I went like that, you could hear it pretty bad. See, it's getting smoother. But if you look at that, I don't know if you guys can tell. Let me look through the lens here. See, right over here, I don't know if you can see that, but in this area there's quite a bit of scratches, and then there's some nice ones going right around the front in this area here, and then there's this big ones right here. You can almost see those shadowing on the dial. I don't know if you'll be able to see them in that camera angles, but from here I can see them. So we're gonna go with another round. Wipe this off a little bit more, fluff up my head here, and another thing I like to do every now and then is I'll flip it on, and I got nails so I don't worry about this, but I'll scrape some material down and smooth the tip up, and just puff it up a little bit to keep it fuzzy and a little cleaner, so this debris stuff doesn't keep building up on it. It goos, it'll clog it. The fuzzing. Everything's about scratches. More scratches, finer scratches. That's what polishing is all about. Alright, I'm going to give that a second to cake up. I'll be back. I'm going to get a sip of water. Now, I don't know what it works, but why. But if I let these sit for just a few seconds to start to clay up, because this cream starts to get a little crusty after a few minutes, maybe like definitely by the 2-minute mark it's kind of starting to goo. So I try to let it get around the whole crystal, and then we go for it. I mean, you got to hit it a few different times. Now we're going to remember that one lower right corner, I guess it was around the 4 o'clock time, that area over there, we're going to hit that harder first this time. Just a little more pressure than normal, but not too much to overdo it, because if you put too much pressure, it'll gouge the plastic. So you're going to want to practice on a cheap crystal or old watch. Just take a Timex. Now you'll notice I use the side a little bit sometimes and the face. It almost doesn't really matter for the sake of angle. I'm just trying to do it in a manner so that everybody can see it, because I know the shadow's overgoing sometimes, but it's really about consistency in the sweep. If you notice, I'm always sweeping around and moving the watch in that same kind of comfortable pattern that I have, because what I've found is that you want to just smooth it layerly. You want it to be a consistent, so you don't have low or high spots in the crystal. Now this is a good example of the hazing, where I don't know if you can see that, but as the cream starts to phase off, it gets thinner. And that's what you're looking for. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but what happens is if you start running low on cream, you'll start getting these little spots in there. But not to worry. What happens is on the next round, what we're going to do is we're going to spray this bad boy off real quick. Light mist is all it needs. And from far away, because these classic watches like this, you don't want to get wet, but alcohol dries, so. And it's only the outside stainless steel case. I mean, what kind of case would it be if it wasn't steel? Right? Every collector's favorite, the Steely. Alright, let's see how this round looks. It's getting there, huh? I don't know, is my lens staying clean for you guys? It looks like there's a smudge on there somewhere. Can't tell. Is that? Yeah. I'm gonna break for a minute and clean the lens. But this is Backyard Mechnic. Keep it rolling. Alright, Backyard Mechnic, man. We're back at it. I'm not sure how the video is gonna come out on this one, but the last one, man, got my camera filthy. Don't know how the audio is gonna be either, but we're back right where we left off. I guess this is round 4. Always gonna wait a minute or so for the cream to kind of dry up a little bit on the crystal. See the haze difference. See the haze. You can slightly see the haze difference right there. And a little haze left there. It's getting there, huh? Yeah, my camera got filthy. Let's see. Yeah, this crystal is gonna come out nice because it doesn't look like there's any sun blisters in this one. A couple deep scratches left. If you take a look here, we're gonna try and remember that the deepest ones are really right here around 7 o'clock. So that's where we're gonna start next time. Now, if you notice when I'm working this, because the direction that the Dremel spins in is the clockwise direction, just to make sure I turned it, what happens is that it splashes the brasso back onto the crystal. So when I come this way, it'll continue to keep the brasso, the cream, on the crystal, so I can go over it a couple times with one application. If I come this way though, it blows it straight off and it goes straight down to the cleaning process, basically. So you want to polish it up and use the brasso as much as you can, because it's all about more scratches and a smooth surface. The cream is like the oil with the little sand. It's like a fine sandpaper. This is like a sandpaper, the brasso. Basically, it's like a liquid sandpaper. Give that a second to dry off. So the 7 o'clock is over here in relation to the battery cap. So we're gonna start because our scratches are right here in the 7 o'clock. I'm gonna come in real tough right in there first, and then there was a couple scratches here, and there was a couple left right over here by the 2 o'clock center segment. So we're gonna start in here and just come around. Okay. See, I still got a little one here. It's coming out. You can feel it with my nail. Kind of hard to hear that, but you can see it right there. That's a pretty nice one. Still in there. And these are the other main ones down here by 7 o'clock. There's a couple right here. About, I don't know if you can see them in the lens, but it's like 1, 2, 3. There's a little one right here. Some of them are shadowing on the dial. And then this one's a nice nick up there. But, spray that off. Well, you can see it's getting there. I'm gonna apply another coat and take a break for a minute. You guys keep it wrenching, keep it going, keep it ticking. Backyard Mechnic, we out. And I don't know if you guys can notice that, but those heavy scratches that was there at the 7 o'clock, they're gone. That one that was center crystal, that's, I mean, it's very faint. I can't even hardly see it in the crystal shadow. This one right up here, it's almost gone. It should be. I'm gonna bet that if it's not gone in this next round, one more round will get rid of that one. So we got one more nasty scratch. Not nasty. I mean, you guys, come on. No, let me take the camera out. Okay. I mean, come on, people. You seen it when I first pulled this thing out the bag, right? You saw the photos. You saw how nasty those scratches were. This whole thing was shot. Let's be realistic, y'all. Come on, man. An hour. You don't need to replace those crystals, people. Give it some love. Put an hour of love into it. I mean, I've been doing this for about 4 years steady. This is four years I've been polishing crystals like this. But I started. I'll show you my first one. I keep it right over here, hung up on my wall, because I pride it. This one right here, this is the first crystal I ever polished on a watch. This crystal right here. And I messed it up bad. There was some dimples, and I mean, it was pretty bad when I got it. It was scratched up pretty bad. But this was my practice crystal, man. This was the first crystal I ever polished from trash to usable. I mean, it was my practice one. It's a good watch, man. Timex. Takes a licking, keep on ticking. And let me tell you, it's true. I like these acrylic crystals. They're perfect for the collector. So y'all seen that? Y'all see where I'm at with this one now, right? Backyard Mechnic, man. Keep it rolling. We out.